10 toes in when we standing on business. I'm a big stepper, underground methods. Top-notch hoes, get the most, not the lizard. Straight terror, product of your errors. Pushing culture, baby, got that product you can measure. Trendsetter, the one who get the weather. Swerving while I'm bumping Project Petter. Yeah, rolling through the city with the big dogs. The laws, loyal with me, we ain't got a cow. Silly on silent, put the product in the pillar loud. That's how you make the money pop for everyone involved. And if you don't deserve a cut, then we gon' cut them up. How you live like this? Why you worry about it? Get up on my, get up out of it. What you think this is? And we ain't worried about you. Watch me skirt the whip, yeah, swerving. So we finding ways to cope that. Only thing I'm breaking is her back with emotions.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Night Owls in NBA Season 4. Your Miami Heat starts today. Aiden, it is an absolute pleasure to have you on today. We're going to be talking some Miami Heat. Season ended last year in a disappointing first-round sweep to the Cavaliers, but the Heat are looking to bounce back this season. Aiden, tell some of the viewers here on Night Owls, what are we doing with these Heat lives in these podcasts on an FAU channel?
So what's going on, everybody? It's Aiden, and I'm just so happy that the Miami Heat are back at playing basketball, and we no longer have to sit around and watch the Dolphins play football every Sunday, ruining our hearts. But we got the Miami Heat back, and we're ready to get at it. And what we're doing and why we're on a FAU channel talking about the Miami Heat, we're going to start talking about everything South Florida sports. We're going to talk about the Heat. We're going to talk about the Dolphins. We're going to talk about the Marlins. We're going to talk about FAU. We're going to talk about all of South Florida. We're going to get some high school football coming into playoffs. We are here to talk all about South Florida. But guys, expect a lot of podcasts, a lot of post games on the Miami Heat. JJ, it's game day. The Heat are back, and how are you feeling today?
And I'm feeling great, Aiden. It is a pretty similar Heat team outside of the draft picks that they got, but I'm feeling like the Heat could be top 6 overall in the Eastern Conference, get inside that top 6 to the point where we don't have to play in the play-in. That's my expectation for this year, and we'll get into the roster. We'll get into some of the key players. But what are your expectations for next season?
My expectations for this season is win to the best of our ability. We have a really hard first month, and we won't have Tyler Hero, but the whole goal is win, make the playoffs, and go from there. The Heat team, it's not like the Dolphins. We have no culture issues right now. It's win. We have the players. We're able to do it. We need to execute. We have one of the best coaches in the league. That's why he got USA basketball head coach, JJ. But when my expectation this year is honestly go to the championship, Eastern Conference Championship. That's my goal for this year, JJ. I'm not going to lie. My expectations are a lot higher with the Heat than they are with the Dolphins. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, 100%. And I think Miami sports fans in general just need a little bit to look forward to and a little bit of happiness because of how poor and how bad the Dolphins have been so far this season. You kind of mentioned a little bit with the injury reports. Tyler Hero, he's not going to be playing for the first month of the season. Who else is injured on this Heat team? And also, they play the Magic tonight. So who are some of the injured players for tonight's game?
Yeah, so the injury report came out. We have Tyler Hero with an ankle injury. Everyone knows that. We have Casper, first-round pick, rookie out of Illinois guard. He is also in the injury report today. So those are two definitely key players that are looking to help the Heat season, but we're just going to have to wait a little longer to see that big duo play together, JJ.
We are indeed going to have to wait a lot longer, maybe. It depends how long the Hero injury is going to be. And then for the Magic, we have two injuries. Jalen Suggs is out with a knee injury, and Mo Wagner is out also with a knee injury. Kasper Yakachuzis, first-round pick out of Illinois, he's out with a groin injury. So a lot of injuries here tonight. You could argue the top two guards for each of the teams, Jalen Suggs and Tyler Hero, both not playing, Aiden. How is that going to change tonight's matchup with the Heat star guard being out?
I'm excited to see Davion Mitchell back on the court. He had a great play-in tournament, honestly. I'm really excited to see how Davion Mitchell steps up for this Heat team this year. And same with Bam Adebayo, big leader. Same with Nikola Jovic. Same with Andrew Wiggins and Norman Powell. JJ, Andrew Wiggins did not have a great season last year, especially end of the year with the Heat. He was missing, but I'm excited to see how you return. That's my whole thing. How do you come back from a season like last year when you got rid of your best player, Jimmy Butler? He was causing a lot of drama in the locker room. How do you come back? That's what I want to see the Heat do, and that's what I want to start with opening tip-off tonight is how do you respond? Who's going to make that one more pass? Who's going to die for the ball? Who's going to get that rebound? And who is going to win the game? And JJ, talk about winning the game. The Magic are currently 8-point favorites right now.
Yeah, Aiden, that's a great question. The Heat are going to have to do a lot to win the game, and there's a lot to watch for in this game for the Heat. They have to defend a very solid Magic offense, a Magic offense that ranked in the top 5 of scoring last season, and it's going to be really interesting to see how they play defense against this Magic team in their starting 5. And, both centers, Bam Adebayo and Paolo Banchero, are going to be the two guys to look out for tonight. If the Heat want to win tonight, Bam Adebayo has got to play really good defense and stop Paolo Banchero, because if Banchero goes for 30, the Heat aren't going to win tonight. They have to limit Paolo Banchero, hold him to 25 points or less, and that's going to open so many more opportunities for the Heat. We're going to see, is Andrew Wiggins going to play good defense? Is he going to go against Adebayo? Is he going to go against Wendell Carter? We'll see how the Heat match up. Also, the Heat need to continue the pace and keep their pace up. Aiden, if they want to win tonight, they got to play with this fast-paced offense. Last season, they were 27th in pace. So far this season, throughout the preseason, they've been inside the top 8 in pace. So the Heat, they have to play fast on offense to slow down this Magic offense and defense. Magic pace ranks 30th. That's last in the NBA out of 30 teams. They rank dead last, 30th in pace. So you have a faster team in the Heat going up against a really slow team in the Magic. The Heat have to control the pace and make sure they capitalize on all their opportunities tonight. But Aiden, I want to ask you, what do you see as the biggest key to victory for tonight for the Heat?
Honestly, it all starts with getting dirty in the paint. Rebounds are going to be crucial. Rebounds are possessions. Possessions win games. If you get the ball, you're going to score. And scoring wins games, honestly. I think rebounds are going to be crucial. Miami struggled a lot in the postseason last year with getting rebounds and second chance opportunities. So I feel like second chance opportunities tonight is going to be a crucial way that the Heat are going to have to win. I think Davion Mitchell and Andrew Wiggins are going to have to step up big time tonight, JJ. I haven't seen a oh my God game out of Andrew Wiggins yet, and I want to see that tonight. I want to see Wiggins and Bam Adebayo be that guy tonight.
Yeah, I agree. I want to see, Davion Mitchell hit some of those shots from the perimeter, be able to utilize the pick and roll, be able to navigate screens, and be able to get to the hoop. And I want to see Bam be dominant in the post down low, whether it's a lob or whatever he gets at either one of the blocks, and make sure he capitalizes on those shots. We can't have Bam Adebayo shoot under 50% like last year's playoffs from inside the paint. If you want to be dominant this year, if you want to win tonight, Bam Adebayo has to be elite from inside the paint. He has to make sure that he's capitalizing on all those shots, whether it's a dribble handoff, off a shot against the backboard, or when he's usually just going to go in space, and when he pulls up from either elbow. We're going to need to see him dominant, and we're going to need to see him make sure that he's making those shots that he takes. But Aiden, we talked a little bit of Bam Adebayo. We talked a little bit about, Davion Mitchell, the two stars for the Heat. Who are some of the stars for the Magic who really pop out of the page for you?
Yeah, definitely. The Magic are a really good team, JJ. They really are. I mean, when you think about it, for the Magic, you have Tyus Jones, you have Desmond Bain, Franz Warner, Pablo Bernicio, and Wendell Carter, and those are all very good players right there, JJ. I'm not gonna lie. Those are really good players on the Magic. It's gonna be an equal matchup tonight. I'm not even gonna lie, JJ. It's gonna be a good game, and I expect nothing else. So Magic's a good team, Heat's a good team. It's gonna be a good battle.
Yeah, and you mentioned Paulo Banchero, their star power forward. At the top right, you could see his stats from last season. Tell us about him and what he did, Pablo Banchero, last year.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely helped the Magic out a lot last year. The Magic were not a very good team the year before, and he got them back in pace. And honestly, JJ, the Magic, they're a good team. They beat us a lot last year. And like we said, Miami has to defend a very good Magic offense. We said that. And he is only a star on this team that's going to make things worse for the Heat tonight. He's going to have a great game, I could say. I mean, you could see this. His regular season stats, 25.9 points, 7.5 rebounds, 4.5 assists, 45% from field goal range. I mean, those are pretty darn damn good stats right there, JJ. But like we said, Miami is going to have to play really good defense on him tonight.
Yeah, and I believe Banchero was the third pick in the NBA draft just a few years ago, so it is crucial to stop him. But who do you think is going to be guarding him tonight, Aiden?
Yeah, there's definitely a bunch of people that could guard him, honestly. But what I'm seeing is that I'm liking Wiggins versus Banchero. I think Andrew Wiggins is going to be guarding him tonight.
Yeah, Paul Banchero versus Andrew Wiggins. That's going to be interesting. Will the Heat put Bam on Banchero or will they put Wiggins? Who do you think's a better defender between those two? Would the Heat want to roll out Bam or would they want to roll out Wiggins? Who do you think gives them the best chance to win with guarding Paulo Banchero?
Honestly, Bam's probably a better defensive player, but you also need Bam to get the rebounds. That's what I'm going to say. I think Wiggins can guard him fine, and honestly, it's hard to say. We haven't seen this real Heat team play basketball in months, JJ. So it's same with this Magic team. So it's hard to say who is unbelievable, who got worse, and we're gonna find out tonight. We're gonna find out tonight, no doubt.
We are going to find out tonight. And Aiden, I want to ask you, tell us a little bit about the Heat offense last season, some of the stats, and what you think they can improve on from these stats.
Yeah, as you said, the Heat need to continue the pace. Their preseason place was 8th. Last season, they were 27th with 106.8 speed. The Magic were 30th. But let's get into the NBA offense stats for the Heat. Points per game, it was 110.6, which was 24th in the league. Field goal percentage, it was 46.5, which was 18th in the league. And for 3 points, it was 36.7, 12th in the league. Offensive rating, 112.4, which was 21st in the league, JJ.
Yeah, those are not the best stats. Obviously, there's 30 NBA teams, and to be, between that 20 to 28 range, it's not very good. Of these stats, which one do you expect the Heat to improve on the most?
I'm going to say the 3-point line. I think the Heat are going to improve a lot on the 3-point, JJ. Most definitely. I think the Heat are going to improve a lot on that.
Yeah, and do you think that the shooters on the perimeter have just been better? What makes you think that from beyond the arc, from 3, the Heat are gonna have a big improvement? Because they did shoot very well last year from beyond the arc. They were within the top 12 of the NBA.
Yeah, I just think they're going to get better. I mean, I think that I can see them in the top 5, I think, this year, honestly. Yes, it's the same team, but it is the same team on paper, but it's a different Heat year. Like last year, there was just so many distractions with Jimmy Butler, all these issues that he caused for the Heat last year. And now that that's gone, Eric Spoelstra is now fully in charge again. He was last year, but I felt like a lot of Eric Spo's time consumed Butler. But now that Butler's gone, I feel like this Heat team is more chemistry with each other. And that's just going to lead to more open shots, and which is going to lead to threes. And this team has definitely been putting in the work, JJ. We saw last week they were at our hometown, FAU, putting in that work for a camp, and they were getting it done. The Heat look solid, JJ. They look like a real contending team this year.
Yeah, and you brought up Spo being in full control. There's no drama with Jimmy Butler. Eric Spoelstra is not on the hot seat like another Miami coach in Mike McDaniel. And Miami fans are really tired of coaching with the Dolphins franchise, but we're not with the Heat franchise. So tell us a little bit about Spo. Do you like him as a coach? Do you think he's the coach for a future here? Do you think he's going to retire here? How do you like?
I love Spo. I love Spo. I wish he could coach the Miami Dolphins right now and fix the locker room. I wish the Dolphins would bring him in right now to fix that locker room. I love how Spo works. When you ask every player, including Jimmy Butler, he did say this. When you think of the Miami Heat, what do you think of? Heat culture. There's a different culture that the Miami Heat have than every other team. And that all starts with the head coach, about his culture and how disciplined his players are. You don't see the problems that the Heat have compared to the Dolphins. We're going to put it like that. With all this locker room banter, you don't see that. You saw that last year with Jimmy Butler, but Jimmy's just a different guy. He does his own stuff. He's gone now, but Spo is really that coach. That's why USA Basketball took him as the head coach. I mean, that just says it alone. The Dolphins would never have a Pro Bowl coach in Mike McDaniel. So, I mean, there's no really comparing Mike McDaniel to an Eric Spoelstra. I mean, Spo is just that guy. He literally is. I see him retiring in Miami. I see him having a future in Miami. He is one of Miami sports and Miami Heat's greatest of all time, I would say, JJ. I'm going to put it down like that. One of the greatest ever to step foot in Miami sports.
Yeah, and that actually, as much as that is a reach and a hot take, I can't disagree with it. Spoelstra's been loyal with the Heat. He's been here for a while, and he's been winning games. And that's all we want to see in South Florida. We want to see wins, and Spoelstra makes the playoffs almost every single year. Spoelstra is able to compete for championships and has the Heat as a consensus top 8 team in the Eastern Conference. Something Spoelstra mentioned in his press conference yesterday was involving the pick and roll more in the offense. And, the offense's main play style to be through that pick and roll. How do you kind of see this new Heat offense now that they're implementing the pick and roll, and how do you think it's going to work with a lot of pick and roll?
Yeah, so as I said, JJ, I see a lot more three-pointers. Honestly, I think if the pick is going to come, they're going to roll off it. You're going to drive forward, hit him back, boom, three-point back on defense. I see a lot of three-pointers because Spo knows that was one of our bright sides last year was our three-point shot, and it's only going to improve. I don't think it's got worse at all. I think it just improved. So that's where I come back to say earlier in the episode, I said that our three-point is going to go up a lot this year, and is including when Eric Spoelstra said about the pick and roll, that's just going to make our three-point shot go up, and that's going to give us a better percentage, and I think that's one of the top things on this team. And we have a big guy like Bam, which is going to help a lot if you want to bury it down low for Bam to get an alley, dunk, or just honestly lay the ball up. So I can't wait to see this pick and roll tonight, JJ.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the pick and roll. And something else Spo mentioned was the two most guys who improved the most throughout the offseason. He said Jaime Jaquez and Davion Mitchell. Can you tell us a little bit about those two? And are you surprised that those two are the two most who have improved throughout this offseason?
Honestly, I'm not surprised, JJ. Davion Mitchell is a really hard worker. We saw it in the playoffs. We saw it in the play-in. He took his time to climb up that depth chart. And honestly, he won us that game versus Trae Young in the play-in tournament. He got us in the playoffs, JJ. The Heat broke history last year. Is the lowest seed in the play-in to make the playoffs. So I'm going to give credit. Even when it looks like a bad season, the Heat always seem to find it out and turn it around, JJ. But I'm not surprised that Davion Mitchell is one of the most hardworking players, honestly, and Jaime Jaquez. They are two really hardworking players. And after the season had last year with Jaime Jaquez, I expect him to be a lot better. Last year was definitely not a good season for Hami, but I expect him to have a lot better season this year. And also, hope this team brings some energy back to Miami. Miami's been waiting for a championship. Yes, we have the Panthers, but Miami fans have been waiting for that big sport like a football or basketball. And JJ, I just can't wait to watch the Heat get back on the court tonight. It's been a long time, and I'm sick of the Dolphins already. So I just can't wait to hopefully watch a winning team this year.
Man, I feel like a lot of Miami fans have that same perspective as you because who likes watching a 1-6 football team go out there and get blown out every single week? We want to see success, and we want to see a team that is actually serious and wants to compete for championships. I take the Miami Dolphins as a joke right now, and as a Heat fan, and a Miami sports fan, I want to see a winning team. Aiden, I wanted to ask you, noting the pick and roll and noting that Davion Mitchell and Hami Halkes have been the most improved. Davion Mitchell is most likely going to be the guy who gets the pick at the top of the key when they do pick and roll. What is Davion Mitchell going to do with space in the pick and roll?
I think he's just going to pull up, honestly. I think he's just going to pull up from range and shoot it, and I think it's going to go in. I mean, like Spo said, he's been working hard this season, so I'm expecting his three-point shot to be a lot better than it was last year. It was still really good last year. Don't get a doubt about that. But I'm only expecting it to go up, JJN. I think by him working in that offseason a lot harder than some of the other guys, his range is bigger. I think that's one thing that he's been definitely working on is the range, that he's able to pull up for those pick and rolls if he's the guy coming down the court. It's pull up, bang, we're back in transition on defense.
Yeah, Aiden, 100%. And I think that was the perfect answer. If they give him space, usually on the pick and roll, they'll go under the screen. So he's going to pull up. He's going to shoot it himself. And I agree what you said with the range. Bo's been talking about it. And I definitely agree with you there. And as you mentioned, the Heat are a strong team from the perimeter. They're 12th from beyond the arc. So I trust him from three. I wanted to ask you about another player we haven't been talking about, Kel'el Ware. And he has been the star so far in the preseason. Talk to us a little bit about him and what he's done in the preseason and how you see him making an impact on this Heat team.
Yeah, I have Kel'el Ware. His impact is going to be a big thing of winning this season. He should definitely start over Jovic. Ware's personal stats, 17.8 points per game, RPG of 11.5, field goal range of 50.6, and three-point range of 38.1. I love it. Kel'el Ware is a dog, JJ. When you think about a hard worker, you think about Kel'el Ware. When you think of someone that wants that playing time, you think of him. When you think of a up-and-coming superstar, you think of him as well. Honestly, this is a hot take, but I would compare him to like a Victor Wembanyama. I mean, he helped us a lot last year in the play-in, so I definitely love Kel'el Ware's game and how big of an impact he is to this Miami team, JJ.
Yeah, and he does have a similar frame to Victor Wembanyama. They're both 7 feet tall. Wembanyama has the height advantage. But Kel'el Ware, he's been really good. Someone who can rebound defensively is Kel'el Ware, despite Bam struggling. I trust Kel'el Ware a lot more on the defensive rebound. He's more aggressive. He can go after those, those balls who hit the board. And I really like that from Kel'el Ware, his aggressiveness. But he did have 4.1 fouls per game. So he has to cut down on fouls because that's something that has been, a little bit too much. You can't have Kel'el Ware getting 4+ fouls a game if you want to stay out of foul trouble because the Heat aren't that deep with their bigs. Kel'el Ware so far this preseason has averaged 17.8 points per game, 11.5 rebounds. He's shooting 38% from three, which is amazing for a 7-footer, and he's shooting over 50% from the field, which is very good as well. I want to mention the guy who maybe is the Swiss Army knife of this Heat team. That's going to be Vlad Golden. Vlad Golden is a guy who is a rookie this season, but he is 7'1" tall. He's a rookie this year. He got some playing time in the preseason, and the Heat are expecting to give him 10+ minutes. Tell us a little bit about Vlad Golden.
Yeah, JJ, he was definitely a good player in college, and he definitely helped the Heat out a lot this year. And he's a good player overall, JJ. He has the big height advantage, which you love to see that if you're a Heat fan. You absolutely love to see that, JJ. You love
Yeah,
that.
not only do you love to see that as a Heat fan, as an FAU fan, you love to see that because Vlad Golden played at FAU for 4 seasons. He was very effective for them, and he was on that Final Four team, and now he was drafted by the Heat. So that's going to be really interesting to watch him dominate from down low. Hopefully, they don't put him in drop coverage because that's where he seemed to struggle last season. But hopefully, Vlad Golden can come up with that experience and make sure that he's a key part of this Heat team. Ian, what do you think is going to be stronger this season, front court or back court? This is going to be the last question before we get into predictions.
I think our front court's going to be our top tier of this Miami team this year. I just think that it's going to be a really good year for Miami Heat fans. Honestly, JJ.
Yeah, in the front court, I would have to go with the back court because there are so many good guards for this year's Heat team. I don't see the front court particularly being strong unless Khalil Ware can have a really standout season and Bam can live up to a lot better than what our expectations are. But Aiden, predictions for this game, the spread is 8 points. Do you see that as a fair spread? And are the Heat covering tonight's spread?
Yeah, definitely. The Heat are 100% covering it, JJ. Heat will definitely be covered. And I'm not going to just say this because I'm a Miami fan, but I have the Heat winning tonight's game of a score of 121-118 Miami.
Wow, that would definitely be a thriller. In last year's Heat team, that would make sure that their offense has improved from last year because they scored 110 points per game last season. If you have them scoring 121, that is certainly a lot of points that they would be able to put up. Do you kind of hint out as a buzzer beater 3-pointer? How do you think this game's going to end because you have a one-possession game?
Yeah, definitely. I think this game goes into overtime. I'm not going to lie. That's why I see these points going up a lot more. Is I see a low score in overtime, but I see just a crucial possession with short time on the clock. I see Bam taking a layup, and Heat win. Heat win the ball game.
So you see Bam a layup late time, that would be very crucial. And also, if Bam does that, think about it. He would have to be up 1 because you have them winning by 3. A layup is 2 points. So you think that he gets an inbound late, takes it to the hoop, and scores before they can foul him?
Correct. Yep.
That would definitely be a storybook ending. I'm going to go with a different score. Give me the Heat here, 116-107. I think the Heat get up early quick. But again, the Magic are projected to be a top 3 team in the East. So it's going to be interesting. Aiden, last one here. We talked about this game, but this is also our season preview because it's the first time, or the last time actually, we are going to record before the season starts. So overall, what is your season prediction for the Heat? And also give us your player predictions. Do you see any all-stars? Do you see any guys averaging 25 plus? So my all-star, my season prediction, Heat lose in the Eastern Conference Championship. I think Heat fans would be very happy with that. I think that would be great for the Heat, and I think it's going to be a great season. I'll let you get into the all-stars and some of the guys you think are going to be top-tier players, so go ahead.
Honestly, JJ, I think when Tyler Hero comes back, he is going to be a maniac. All-star Tyler Hero's on the way. We're relying on Tyler Hero this year. Wait till he comes back. It's going to be crazy. I'm getting Tyler Hero. Davion Mitchell, I think, is going to be averaging over 25 points per game come mid-season. I'm excited for this year. And this is a hot take, JJ, and I'm not going to lie after last year, but I think Heat losing in the NBA Finals this year. I'm not going to lie. I think we get to go back to the NBA Finals this year under Spo. I think we shocked the world this year with this roster we have because, let's be honest, when you look at the roster, you're not like, oh, my God. Like, if you gave this roster to somebody that's not a big Heat fan or not like so much of a Heat fan and you gave them a Lakers roster, obviously, they would know the Lakers roster way more than the Heat fan. That's just popularity interest, JJ. But I think the Heat shock everybody this year with this roster. It's going to be a very different locker room this year. It's going to be big. We don't have problems in the locker room with Jimmy Butler here anymore. And we have probably the best head coach in the NBA.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, Aiden. It's going to be a great season. I'm so pumped up for it. Like today's video, subscribe. Don't jinx it. We need to make sure that if you want the Heat to win, like the video. That's all I'm going to say. Please do not jinx it. And that'll do it for today's episode. on the Night Owls, your Heat coverage coming to you. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Go Heat, baby. Go Heat. Go Heat. Get
And
the
as
win
always,
tonight. Go
go
Heat.
Heat, as Aiden said.